Welcome back to Cryptorama. In today's episode, I show you how to purchase crypto using an exchange. I give you several tips on how to not get wrecked when you're just starting out, and I wrap up with some basic investment strategies. Now, before we get started today, you will need to use an exchange. There are many different options to choose from. Binance is one of the largest and has the lowest fees, but the verification process is pretty slow. I recommend you start with them, but then move on to a different platform so you can start trading immediately. Coinbase is another popular option. They're really user-friendly and have a large selection as well. I'll include referrals in the description to all the different exchanges I use. There's many different options and they're all relatively the same. For the purpose of today's video though, I'm going to be using Coinbase as our example. So go ahead and navigate to the Coinbase website or use the link down in the description below. Once you're on the Coinbase website, go ahead and click the sign up button. Complete the sign-in information. It'll ask you to verify your email. After that, you'll be able to log back in and complete the KYC, Know Your Customer verification. That's all the information they need so that they can actually sell you these assets. They're going to ask for pictures of your ID and all that good stuff. Then you'll be able to link your bank account or your Google Pay. The whole verification process should take anywhere between an hour to 2 days, depending on when you complete it. Once it's complete, you'll be able to sign in and you'll see a page like this. If we come over to the trade menu, you'll see all the assets that they have listed for trade. There's a bunch of information here. I'm going to run you through Bitcoin real quick, but take your time to figure out all the information on the website. In the upper left-hand corner, we've got the price. You can see this graph indicates the change over time, and you can adjust the time scale in the upper right-hand corner. We've got the total circulating supply listed right here, the total market cap, 811 billion, and you get the market cap by multiplying the number of coins by the price of the coin. There's also a brief description down here in the overview of each of the assets. So now that we're ready to make a purchase, the next question is, which crypto asset should I purchase first? And I've got a couple of recommendations for initial strategies if you're interested. But before I give you those, I want to give you 4 quick tips on how to not get wrecked, because I feel you need to weigh those with the information I'm about to give you. Tip number 1 is really more of a rule than a tip, and that's don't invest more than you can afford to lose. Pretty self-explanatory, but you'll sleep better at night, you'll make better decisions in your trades if you're not overextended. Even if you're making a lot of money, don't get overconfident and bet the house. Don't invest any money you cannot afford to lose. Tip number 2 is do your own research and have conviction. Crypto is a roller coaster ride, and when the number is going up, it's a really great feeling. But when the number goes down, and eventually it will, that's a really bad feeling. And if you don't have conviction in your investment, you may panic and sell at a loss on the first big dip. Which brings me to tip number 3. You have not made or lost any money in crypto until you click sell. If your portfolio is down 50%, ride it out, have patience, wait for it to bounce back. Do not lock in that loss. The other side of that coin is that if you're in the green for a life-changing amount of money, don't be afraid to click sell and lock in that win. My final bit of advice for you guys is be aware of confirmation bias. It's really easy to want to take in information that agrees with your worldview, but I challenge you that when you're presented with an alternative viewpoint, do due diligence, put in some research yourself, and really ask yourself, is that viewpoint valid even if you don't like it? It's going to make you much stronger as an investor, and your portfolio will reflect that. That's it for my tips and tricks, you guys. Now, without any further ado, let's get into a couple of basic strategies. And I mean, these are really basic. You'll want to take these and tweak them and make them your own eventually. But if you're just starting out, there's kind of one of 2 trains of thoughts that I basically think in. One is, how risk adverse are you as a person? If you're a risk adverse person and you don't want to take on a lot of risk, I recommend dollar cost averaging into one of the top coins. Bitcoin or Ethereum are really awesome choices. Just on payday, when you've got some extra money, put 20 bucks in, put 50 bucks in. Don't worry about that bottom line price. It'll dollar cost average out over time, but just start investing and let that investment grow. Don't touch it, just let it sit. Now, if you aren't risk adverse and you're willing to take on a little more risk for potentially a little more reward, I recommend you use a coin like Cardano. It's a really great one. It really, as far as I'm concerned, it hasn't reached its inherent value yet, I still think that it's got a lot of room to grow. You can also stake it to earn a return on it. I'll do more on that in another video down the line, but I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You're going to hear a lot about Cardano from me because it's one of my favorite investments. Another good choice is an asset that actually isn't listed on Coinbase, but VRA, Veracity, that's another really cheap coin right now that you can get a lot of that could have a lot of potential growth down the road. You can also stake that one to earn 20% return. So more on that later in another video. Either way, whichever route you decide to take, I recommend that you just buy these assets and hold them and let that value grow. Don't try to day trade initially. Inevitably, you're going to trade out of an asset that you'll see pump and you'll regret it. We all do it. If you really want that other asset, my recommendation, find a way to buy it. Don't trade out of your current position to get there. That's it for my initial investment strategies, you guys. If you have any questions, please drop them down in the comments below. Follow me on Twitter for more up-to-date crypto information as well as some NFT and crypto giveaways. Follow my friends on Twitter too. It's a great way to get piped into a lot of information. If you've enjoyed today's video, like and subscribe to the channel. I've got a lot of more videos coming up. My next video is going to show you how to stake some of these crypto assets like I've been talking about, how to set up your own wallet, how to transfer funds, maybe even get into how to store your crypto on a hardware wallet to keep it safe. It's all coming up on Cryptorama, so stay tuned.